In this question, we have to find the summation of k, a, b and c. So for that, first we have to determine the values of k, a, b and c. What we will do is, we will determine the transfer function of the system based on the Bode plot that is given in the question, and then we will compare its transfer function to the transfer function that is given in the question, which is having values a, b and c. From there we will determine the values of a, b, c and k, and then we can find the summation of all these values. Okay, first when we look at the Bode plot, we can observe a few things. The first thing being, we have two corner frequencies here. So the corner frequencies are those frequencies at which we have a change in slope. Okay, so the first corner frequency is at 4 radians per second, and then we have one more corner frequency at 10 radians per second. Okay, then I also observe that initially the slope of my Bode plot is 20 decibel per decade, which means I am having an s in the numerator. Okay, so what I will do is, I will write the transfer function is equal to, no matter what the transfer function is, there is always going to be a gain k. It can, if it does not have any significance, then it will have a value of 1. If it has a value other than 1, we will find it out. Okay, so it is k, and we have just now seen that we have a 0 at s equal to 0. So why is that? Because we have an initial slope of 20 decibel per decade, and then since our first corner frequency occurs at 4 radians per second, okay, then we have to consider that particular corner frequency. We see that the slope is changing from plus 20 to 0, which means there is an additional contribution of minus 20 decibel per decade at 4 radians per second. So this will happen when we have a pole of first order at omega equal to 4. So in that case, it will be 1 plus s by 4. Similarly, now if we look at the second corner frequency, there we have the slope changing from 0 to minus 40. So we have the second order factor in the denominator. Okay, so that I will write as 1 plus s by 10 whole square. Okay, now we have to determine the value of k. Once we do that, we have the entire transfer function. Okay, now initially before a frequency of 4, we will have the contributions of only the gain k and s, because the contribution of a particular factor will come into effect only after its corner frequency. So before omega equal to 4 radians per second, okay, the gain of this particular Bode plot will be 20 log k plus 20 log omega. Okay, now I see that at omega equal to 4, value is 0. So 0 equal to 20 log k plus 20 log 4, because omega equal to 4. Now from this we know k is equal to 1 by 4. So we know k equal to 1 by 4, and what is a? A is equal to minus 1. Okay, and then b is equal to 1, c is equal to 2, and k is equal to 0.25. So the summation of a, b, c and k will be 2.25.